Hello everyone, my name is Arav Soni. I'm a junior majoring in finance at UIC, and today I'm going to do a learning path on Pluralsight, that is Microsoft Excel for Data Analysts. The learning path contains number of courses, and I'm going to walk you through the course that I'm going to do, what it entails, and how it's helping me understand Microsoft Excel better.
Right, so here is the path Microsoft Excel for Data Analysts, and it has about 18 courses, which is a total of 7 hours and 17 minutes. But right now we're going to focus on the first two courses, that is loading data into Microsoft Excel and sort and filter data in Microsoft Excel. Before we get started, this path was designed to build core data analysis skills using Microsoft Excel, and it is one of the most widely used skills in business and finance. And this path is going to focus on data manipulation, data analysis, and data visualization. And this will help me develop the ability to organize and clean large data sets, perform complex calculations, and generate meaningful insights for decision making. Alright, with that being said, let's look at the first course, that is loading data into Microsoft Excel. So this course has 4 videos, that is loading data from files, connecting to databases, importing online data, refreshing data automatically. So the first course focuses on how to bring data into Excel from different sources, and the sources could be a CSV file, a text file, a database, or a web source. And it is also going to tell us how to set up automatic data refresh. Alright, so this is what the course is going to teach us, that is loading data from files, connecting to databases, importing online data, and refreshing data automatically. First up, open Excel, a blank sheet.
From the menu bar, click Data, then from Text, CSV. Then I'll choose the CSV file and click Import. Once the data preview window opens, I can change the delimiter. I'll leave it as a comma. It's always a good idea to preview your data before importing, especially when you have a lot of columns.
Right, that is really important to preview your data before importing into Excel. Now you can simply just click load here, and then the data will be imported into Excel as a table, or you can transform data as it's going to show you.
We can click on load, but if you want to apply transformations, click transform data. You may have seen this window before, but if not, it's the Power Query Editor. Here you can apply filters, create custom columns, and all sorts of goodies. I'm going to click Close and Load. You can see we've loaded all 97 rows. Now, let's ensure Excel picked the correct format for the birth date. And it did. Sometimes you...
So that is basically how you transform or import data as a table into Excel from a different file. So this is going to show you how to import online data, that is from a web.
On the data ribbon, there's an option for loading from the web. Let's click on it, and I'll paste in the website URL.
So you have to paste in the website URL. You can copy it and then paste it here, and then
there's a list of tables in the navigator. Sometimes these tables are not well formed. However, there is a table which will work great for us. It's the one called Hall of Fame Inductees table. Look.
So you can do the same thing here. You can just paste in the URL and then click OK, and then select the table you want from the options, and then click load data, and then it's gonna import that table into Excel. Or you can transform data and then make your transformations accordingly, and then load the data into Excel. So that is how you load the data from the web. Now, once you have the data into Excel, how do you make sure that it's up to date? For example, you got your data from a website, and if there's a change in the website, how do you make sure that that change appears on Excel as well and that your data is up to date?
How can we refresh the data set? You might point out the obvious refresh button. However, I don't want to click on that button every time I want the data refreshed. I'll click the down arrow under refresh and then choose the connection properties. You can also go there by right-clicking the student scores query and choosing properties. Let's look at a few of these options. First, by default, you'll have the enable background refresh checked.
So here, the enable background refresh is when you're working on an Excel sheet and then your data refreshes automatically in the background while you're working on it. That is checked by default. The second option is refresh every 60 minutes. You can change the timer. You can do, for example, 10 minutes and your data will refresh every 10 minutes. You can also do refresh data by opening the file. That is the third option right here. And whenever you close the file and then open it again, your data will refresh. And by that, whenever you come back to a file, your data is up to date. Even if there are any changes, your data will be up to date. So by this, you can keep your data up to date. So up next is the second course, that is sort and filter data in Microsoft Excel. This course is approximately 18 minutes and 24 seconds long, and it contains 4 videos, that is sorting data, custom sorting options, applying filters, and using advanced filters. So this is going to show you how to sort data.
We'll start by selecting the entire dataset that you want to sort. You can do this by clicking and dragging to select all the cells, or alternatively, by clicking any cell in the data range and using the Select All shortcut, which on Windows is Ctrl+A. If I right-click on the data, there's a section for Sort, providing options.
Here, you can sort A to Z, that is alphabetical order, A to Z, Z to A.
To sort the data. One important thing when sorting this way is to pay attention to the cell you have selected before clicking the Sort button. Notice I have cell C4 selected, which is in the last name column. If I choose to sort from A to Z, it sorts based on the last name column because that's the column I had a cell selected from before clicking on Sort.
So that is basically how you sort a data. And you can do the same thing with first name, and then it'll sort your data based on first name, or you can do department, you can do position. Now, how would you sort a data if there are no names? That is, there are no alphabets to sort the data alphabetically based on first name or last name.
If I select a cell with different data, like one in the salary column, hovering over the sort options now says sort smallest to largest and sort largest to smallest. Let's sort by smallest to largest, and you'll see the data has been resorted based solely on the value of the salary field, and just as easily, I could also sort largest to smallest. This is now only sorting based on the salary column, and sorting by multiple criteria is possible, but more on that soon.
So that is how you basically sort data in Excel. So this is gonna show you how to add a level to sorting the data set.
Let's select that data range and bring up the sort option. Here you can choose how to sort your data, and right now this is relatively straightforward as it will sort by the column named last name. Then the sort on option allows you to select what to use to perform the sorting on. Often that will just be the cell values, but you may want to sort on the cell colors or the color of the font in the cells. Lastly, you choose what order to sort the data in. Because last name is text, this is either A to Z, Z to A, or custom, and we'll circle back to custom in a moment. Unlike the last clip where we used quick sort options and you had to pay attention to what cell was selected, when doing a custom sort, this doesn't matter. Notice I had cell A2 selected, which is under the Employee ID column, but with this sort option, let's tell it specifically to sort by the department column, and let's leave it sorting alphabetically. And you can see the data is now nicely sorted based on column D, which is the department. One of the use cases of using this sort dialog is adding multiple criteria to sort on, and you do this by adding a level. This is going to sort by department first, and then by another criteria. Let's sort by position next, and I'll leave it sorting from A to Z. As I apply that, you'll see the data sorts first by the department value and then by the position. So all of the customer support employees are then sorted alphabetically based on their position, followed by the finance department, so on and so forth.
So this is how you can add a level and sort your dataset in Excel.